Today we are going to be making these flower coasters. And what you need is a size 4.25 millimeter size hook. You need some yellow and another petal of yarn for the petals. You will also need some scissors and a yarn needle for weaving in all your ends. Once you have all of those materials, let's head over to the table and get started. See you soon! Our flower coaster is going to start off with the center, and what we are going to do is double crochet 16 times right in the very center by using a magic circle. To start your magic loop, you just want to wrap your yarn around your non-dominant hand twice, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull the loop, pinch it, yarn over, and pull through. And that just secures it in place. And that will count as your first chaining. So there's your magic loop. We are going to chain 2. Because a double crochet has 3 chains. And your chain 3 will count as your first double crochet. Now what you want to do is double crochet 16 times all the way across the circle. And when you begin, it might be a little fiddly because you are just working with your yarn and your hook. And just remember that chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. And I will meet you back when we have 16 double crochets. Before we close off row 1, we want to go back and make sure that we have a total of 16 double crochets. And once you double check to make sure that you have that amount, we want to close off our ring by grabbing this little tail and pulling it. And it's okay if we don't get it completely shut. In fact, it might be better if there's a tiny hole like that. Now what we want to do is insert our hook into the third chain 3 that we did and join our circle with a slip stitch. And I just like going through both loops just to be more secure. And pull through. And that is row 1. For row 2, we are going to start making our little clusters, and they are going to be a total of 16 all the way around. And so, in order to start our first little cluster, we are going to chain 3 and start working a double crochet right into this very next stitch right here. Pull up a loop, go through the first 2 loops, and then we're not going to finish it off. We're just going to yarn over, go into that same stitch again, pull up a loop, go through those first 2 loops, and then because this is supposed to count as our first double crochet, we are just going to yarn over and finish the first cluster. Now we're going to chain 1 and continue on from there. To create our first real cluster, we are just going to yarn over and insert our hook right into the next stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through the first 2. That is a half of a half double crochet. We want to do that 2 more times. So just yarn over, go into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through the first 2 loops. We're going to do this one more time. Yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull up the loop, yarn over, and fill through the first 2 loops. To finish it off, we are just going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops and chain 1. And then the process starts all over again. So at the end of this row, we want to make sure that we have a total of 16 clusters. And the process is the same for what we did for our first cluster. So we just want to make sure we have 3 of the half doubles, and then pull through all 4 loops, and then finish it off with a chain 1. And I shall meet you back when I have, and when you have, a total of 16 clusters. I have worked a total of 15 clusters all the way around, and the best thing for you to double check is to count your little clusters to make sure there's a total of 15 right now. And so to finish our row 2, we are just going to do one more cluster right into that little false stitch right there. And all we're doing is just what we did for all the other clusters. And then we'll join to the top of the first real cluster, or the first real double crochet that we did. There's 2 and 3. Now if your circle is starting to fill up like this, then you can just lay it flat and use the heat from the palm of your hand to straighten it out. So skip the chain 3, go into that first cluster, and join your row with a slip stitch. And you are done with the yellow. Alright, so we want to join our yarn in the stitch that comes right after where we join our second row. Just insert your hook, grab the loop, pull through, and join it with a slip stitch. We then want to chain 2 and then half double crochet right into that very space right there. And we are going to create a little V-stitch. And in order to do that, we will need to chain 3. And then finish the V-stitch by doing another half double crochet right into that same space. And that just starts off the little star-shaped pattern across our circle. Go ahead and work another half double right into that same space. We want to create our second V-stitch by continuing half double crocheting into the next space. And you can just pull apart the clusters in order to see the space better. So there's 1, we're going to chain 3, and then do another half double crochet right into that same space. And that finishes off that second V-stitch. And we are just going to continue working this pattern all the way across until we have 16 V-stitches. Just remember, do a half double, chain 3, and then another half double. And this all goes in the same stitch. And I will meet you back at the end of row 3. Alright, to finish our last V-stitch, we are just going to work right into this space right here. So just yarn over, do a half double crochet right into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, chain 3, now what we want to do is join this chain 3 to the top of this chain 2. That will complete our 16th V-stitch. There we go. And of course the yarn might be a little fiddly. Alright, and we are now ready to start working on the points. In order to form the points alongside our coasters, we are going to start by single crocheting twice into this space right here. So there's 1, and 2. We're going to form the point by chaining 3. And then complete it with 2 more single crochets right in that same space again. And there's 1 and 2. We're just going to repeat that process with all 16 V-stitches so that we will have a total of 16 points. We're just going to continue on by single crocheting 2 into that space. So there's 1 and 2. We want to chain 3 and do 2 more single crochets right into that same space. And then it's going to be the same for all 16 V-stitches, and I will meet you back at the end of row 4. To finish off row 4, we are just going to start working our last point right into this space right here. So just go ahead and do 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and 2. We're going to chain 3, just like we did for the last 15 V-stitches. And then do 2 more single crochets right into the space. There's 1 and 2. Now we are just going to slip stitch right into that first single crochet that we made right there. We're going to grab our scissors, cut off a little bit of the tail, and we're done. We can just grab our hook or a yarn needle and just sew in the tails. And there is your poster. And I hope to see you all next week. Goodbye!